Are you up for the English lesson with this kooky movie, Poor Things? This strange and eccentric movie with Emma Stone, who just won her second Oscar for the leading role, will leave you inspired, puzzled, and truly mesmerized. Number 1. To catch the drift.
Kitty, did you see the new show in London by Wilde? Marvelously witty.
I loved it. A handbag.
Better.
What? Why I keep it in my mouth if it is revolting?
I have said that before to Gerald. If you catch my drift.
You are wicked.
To catch someone's drift means to understand the meaning of what someone is saying or suggesting, even if not explicitly. When the boat sails in the same direction as the river, it moves smoothly. It catches the drift. When you and your friend understand exactly what you want to say, maybe even without saying it out loud, you're catching each other's drift. In this scene, the lady said a perverted joke and said, "If you catch the drift," meaning if you understand what I'm saying, to see if others understood the dirty joke she had made. In this phrase, catch is the verb and you can change it into different forms and tenses. Despite the cryptic message, Jessica caught the drift of what his boss was trying to convey during the meeting. It took a few minutes, but eventually I caught the drift of Sarah's story about her trip to Europe. Even though the speaker didn't explicitly state his opinion, the audience managed to catch the drift from his tone and body language. Drift, drift, my drift. Catch, if you catch. Try to connect these three words together. If you catch, if you catch, if you catch my drift, if you catch my drift. Now pause the video and practice saying the phrase. Number 2, to bear something.
Don't accept the lie of religion, socialism, capitalism. We are a fucked species. Know it. Hope is smashable. Realism is not. Protect yourself with the truth.
I realize what you are now, Harry. Just a broken little boy who cannot bear the pain of the world.
I suppose so.
To bear something means to endure, tolerate, or cope with a difficult situation or hardship, usually without complaining. Look at this tired bear who has to deal with stress. The bear has to bear the burden of the stress. In this scene, Bella is telling Harry that he's just a little boy who can't bear the pain of the world, so he can't deal with it. It's too difficult for him. To bear something. To bear is the verb, which is usually followed by an object, so something, to bear something. Nora had to bear the loss of her beloved pet with grace and dignity. Despite the pain, she bore the news of her illness with a smile, not wanting to worry her family. Joe is currently bearing the weight of responsibilities since he's the sole breadwinner of the family at the moment. Let's say this phrase from the movie scene. Pain of the world, pain of the world. You cannot bear, you cannot bear. Please remember, we say the word bear, air, not beer. That's a completely different word. Bear, you cannot bear. You cannot bear the pain of the world. You cannot bear the pain of the world. Now pause the video and practice saying the phrase. Number 3, to face the odds.
Fucking Paris with no money. What do you suggest we do, Bella?
I will get us a hotel. Do not worry.
With what? We have no money.
Is it not an interesting experiment? We have nothing. How will we live now?
I don't know.
Exactly, that's the experiment. We are now the poor. Also, many adventurers have faced these odds. Robinson Crusoe, for example.
To face the odds means to confront or deal with difficult or unfavorable circumstances, especially when the likelihood of success seems low. Imagine these huge mountains are the challenges or obstacles and you are facing these odds, so you are trying to overcome them. You're not giving up. Bella and Duncan are left without money, so now they are the poor. She says that it's a good experiment and that even famous adventurers had to face the odds, so they had to deal with such difficult circumstances and situations. To face the odds. Here, face is the verb that you can change according to the tense and the form that you need. The team knew they would face the odds in the championship match, but they were determined to give it their all. Instead of backing down, David has been facing the odds for months and trying to pursue his dream of becoming a successful actor. By the time that I met her, Aurora had been facing the odds of raising her children on her own for years. Many adventurers have faced these odds, Many adventurers have faced these odds. Now, pause the video and practice saying the phrase. Number 4, to be uncalled for.
You are a monster, a horned monster, a demon sent from hell to rip my spirit to shreds, to punish my tiny sins with a tsunami of destruction, to take my heart and pull it like toffee to ruin me. I look at you and I see nothing but ugliness.
That last bit was uncalled for and makes no sense, as your odes to my beauty have been boring but constant.
To be uncalled for means to be unnecessary, unjustified, or inappropriate in a given situation. For example, imagine you are asking a receptionist a question. You are being nice, but instead of just answering that she doesn't know the answer, she starts to get angry and swear at you. That is completely inappropriate. And you didn't do anything wrong to justify her behavior. So her rude comments are uncalled for. Bella says that Duncan's comments about her looks are uncalled for, so they're completely unnecessary. He's saying those things in the moment because he's angry. Uncalled is an adjective, which usually goes after the verb to be. The phrase to be uncalled is followed by the preposition for. His harsh comments are usually uncalled for, especially since the team is always doing the best. Bringing up past mistakes during the meeting was completely uncalled for and only made the situation more tense. Sarah's sarcastic remark about Jane's cooking was uncalled for, especially when Jane had put so much effort into preparing the meal. Let's say Bella's phrase to Duncan. Uncalled for. Uncalled for. That last bit was uncalled for. Was uncalled for. Connect these two together to make it sound more natural. The last bit was uncalled for. Now, pause the video and practice saying the phrase. Number 5 and the last phrase of today's lesson is to take advantage of.
But here you are, my darling. Here you are.
God.
I have no recollection of you. I am Bella Baxter.
Hurtful. But perhaps you've hit your head, and these men have clearly taken advantage of you.
Please go, sir.
To take advantage of means to make use of someone or something for personal gain, often in an unfair or selfish manner. It involves using a situation or another person's vulnerable side to benefit yourself. For example, using another person for your own professional development at their expense. General Alfie Blessington interrupts the wedding and claims that the men have taken advantage of Bella for sure, meaning that they have used her to benefit themselves in a selfish manner. The phrase to take advantage of is followed by a noun, something or someone. Sarah felt betrayed when she discovered that her friend had been taking advantage of her generosity for years. The company was accused of taking advantage of its employees by offering low wages and minimal benefits. Tom warned his sister not to take advantage of the parents' kindness by constantly asking for money without considering their financial situation. Let's say General Alfie's sentence. You. Taken advantage of you. Taken advantage of you. Of you. These men have clearly taken advantage of you. These men have clearly taken advantage of you. Now, pause the video and practice saying the phrase. Okay, and now it is time for you to do some exercises and check how well you understood the material. And remember, if you need extra time, you can always pause the video. Exercise number 1. Fill in the gaps with the 5 phrases that we've learned today. And please be careful because you might need to change the form of the words. Exercise number 2. Choose the correct description for each picture. Thank you for watching our lesson. You might face the odds of language learning journey, but you should always take advantage of all the opportunities you have to practice using new words and phrases. For example, why don't you start by writing down your own sentence examples with the phrases from our today's lesson in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss a fun and quick English lesson with PDQ English.